Hello and thanks for joining us for this special coverage of the main ceremony marking Korea's 67th Memorial Day, which is a public holiday marked every year on June 6th. I'm Mark Broom, and shortly we'll be crossing over to the venue for the ceremony, Seoul National Cemetery. This will be President Yoon Suk-yeol's first Memorial Day speech since he was inaugurated as South Korea's new leader around a month ago. The president will be joined by his wife, First Lady Kim Kon-hee. As soon as the ceremony starts, we'll cross straight over to the Seoul National Cemetery. Since we have a little bit of time before it starts, some background first. Memorial Day commemorates all those who died defending the Republic of Korea over the years. Now, as well as President Yoon's speech, we will be hearing from, and veterans of the armed forces will also receive awards for their bravery in defense of the country. There'll also be a moment of silence and an artillery salute as well. For the entire ceremony, including the president's remarks, we will have simultaneous interpretation for you in English. We will be crossing over to Seoul National Cemetery before too long. Once we have pictures, we'll cross over to the cemetery for you. But of course, over the decades, the Korean Peninsula has been the scene of the Korean War in 1950 to 1953, as well as numerous provocations by North Korea. Even just 20 years ago, the shelling of an island near the border and the sinking of a South Korean Navy warship, the Cheonan, which killed dozens of sailors as well. So they will all be remembered. It's a rainy day here in Seoul, but it's certainly a very humid day, especially in this studio. But we look forward to watching this ceremony to see what President Yoon has to say. Everyone has their rain jackets on and umbrellas up. It's rather unusual for it to be such a rainy day this time of the year, but we just have to deal with the elements as they are, I'm afraid. This is a big day for President Yoon because he'll be making his first such speech on a Memorial Day ceremony. And we're going to cross over now.
Safeguarding the Republic of Korea, there were many people who have sacrificed their lives. We will remember them. Please be seated. Now we will commence the ceremony for the 67th Memorial Day, and in just a moment at 10 a.m. we will take a moment to remember and pay tribute to the fallen heroes, martyrs who sacrificed for the nation. Thanks to their sacrifice, we have today that we enjoy today, and this spirit is continuing with until today, and we have the Republic of Korea that we see today. For the country and for its people, there are many people who have sacrificed their lives, and it is very important for us to remember and cherish the freedom and peace that we enjoy today. We will remember your sacrifice. And now please rise from your seats. Until the very last moments of their life, we will have many patriots who have sacrificed their lives. We will remember them. And the freedom and peace that we enjoy today will be cherished in our hearts, and we will take the path that you have taken. Remembering your sacrifice that has safeguarded the Republic of Korea. Silent tribute. At ease.
다음은 국민의례가
Next, allegiance to the flag. Let us first salute the flag.
오늘 경례문은
The Pledge of Allegiance today will be read aloud by Warrant Officer Oh Tae-gon of the 1st Aviation Brigade of the ROK Army, who is the first serviceman to hold military service numbers of all three branches of the military, Army, Navy, and Air Force. Please face the flag in front of you.
국기에 대하여
Salute the flag.
나는 자랑스러운
I pledge in front of
앞에
태극기
자유롭고
allegiance
정의로운
to the Republic of Korea
대한민국의
for the
무궁한
eternal
영광을
glory of the
위하여
country,
충성을
liberty,
다할 것을
and justice.
굳게 다짐합니다.
바로
At ease.
다음은 애국가를
Next, we will sing the national
제창하겠습니다.
anthem.
애국가는
It will be
경북
sung until the fourth
안동에서
verse, led by student Park So-yeon, the descendant of the late Kim Jong-yeon, a patriot who has stood at the forefront of the March 1st Manse movement in Andong of Gyeongsangbuk-do Province. Second Lieutenant Kang Dong-hoon, the descendant of the late Kang Gi-jong, Lieutenant Colonel of the Reserve Forces. Lieutenant Choi Min-jun, the son of the late Lieutenant Choi Seung-han. Firefighter Kim Sun-jong of the 119 Special Rescue Services that led the rescue operations when the Gwangju Hwajong I-Park collapsed. Next, laying of flowers, burning of incenses, followed by a moment of silence. May I please ask the President, the First Lady, and the distinguished guests to walk towards the Memorial Tower. I ask all of you to rise from your seats to take part in the silence tribute, and for those who are physically challenged, please remain in your seats. The laying of flowers, burning of incenses, and silent tribute is taken part by the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, Chief Justice of the Constitutional Court, Chair of the Board of Audit and Inspection, Commissioner of the National Election Commission, political party leaders, ministers of Veterans Affairs and National Defense, major officers of the military, heads of veteran organizations, as well as student representatives. The following are the names of the veteran organizations: President Kim Young-soo of the Association of the Surviving Families of the Korean War Fallen Soldiers and Policemen, Chairperson Kang Gil-ja of the Association of the Korean War Widows, President Yoo Ul-sang of the Korea Disabled Veterans Organization, President Jang Ho-kwon of the Liberation Organization, President Son Hee-won of the Korean War Veterans Association, President Kim Jong-gyu of the Korean Mugong Medal Awardee Association, President Lee Jong-yeol of the Association of the Surviving Families of the Korean Special Task Force, President Hwang Kyu-sung of the Korean Disabled Veterans Association by Agent Orange, President Lee Hwa-jung, President Chung Jung-sup of the Surviving Families of the April 19 Memorial Association, President Park Kun, President Hwang Il-bong, and Chairperson Park Hae-soo.
Let
us now pay tribute to all of the fallen heroes, martyrs who have sacrificed for the country. Silent tribute.
at ease.
오늘 헌화 분향회 순독
Today,
선열과 호공 영령이란
the laying flowers and burning incenses is attended by Kim Dong-hyun, second-year student at Samjeong Middle School, Kim Do-yeon, third-year student at Songpa Middle School, Jung So-young, first-year student at Seoul Broadcasting High School, Bae Jun-young, first-year student at Hansa High School, Shin Ye-rim, third-year student at Daewon Girls High School, and Hyun Sang-yeon, third-year student at Seongkyungwan University. Thank you.
모두 자리에
Please
앉아주시기
be
바랍니다.
seated, everyone.
다음은 할아버지의
Next,
약속,
a letter
편지,
titled
낭독
Grandfather's
순서입니다.
Promise will be recited.
6.25 전쟁에서 비롯된
Though
짧은
it was a short
인연이었지만
connection that
저는
began
유해를
at the
찾아주고
Korean War
이름을
site, the
찾아주고
comrades
마침내
helped
그
find the
정겹에서
remains and their
영웅을
names and
가진
finally
고
lie
황규만
at rest
장군과
beside
고
each other.
김수영
They are the
소유와의
late General
특별한
Hwang Gyuman
인연을
and the late
먼저
Second
영상으로
Lieutenant Kim Soo-young.
만나보시고
Let's learn more about their
할아버지
special
이야기를
relationship
들으며
via
자란
a
고 황규만
video.
장군의 외손녀
Then a letter written by the
정지희님이
late General Hwang Gyuman's
직접 쓴
granddaughter
편지를
Jung Ji-hee, who
배우
grew up listening
전미도
to her
씨가
grandfather's
낭독하겠습니다.
story, will be read by actress Jeon Mi-do. At the National Cemetery in Seoul, we have numerous people and the tablets who belong to the people, the fallen heroes. During the Korean War, the General Hwang Gyuman was heading his battalion and Kim Soo-young was his soldier, and during the battle, they were killed at the spot. And General Hwang buried General Kim's body under a pine tree, and he made his promise that he will come back. And I buried him myself, and I cannot forget this moment forever. And after the war ended, the remains were found. However, we were not able to identify who the remain belongs to. So it was a tablet that belonged to an unsung hero, and later on, after a lot of endeavor of Mr. Hwang, it was later found that the remains belonged to Mr. Kim, and they now lie beside each other.
Dear my grandfather, who I long for the most. Grandfather, I cannot see your smile, and it's already been 2 years since you died. You always said that you have lived a life that has been indebted to many people. And back then, I did not really understand what you were talking about. And one day, the stories that you have told me is always remembered. And when you graduated high school at the very early age, you were standing at the battlefield. You faced many difficulties and challenges, and to help your troops, there were many people who have sacrificed their lives, and there was a troop that was led by one very young serviceman. And this is how your story and the late Second Lieutenant Kim Soo-young began. You did not know of each other's names, you did not know of each other's background. You just remember that it's General Hwang and Second Lieutenant Kim, and you took part in the battle, and unfortunately, Second Lieutenant Kim has died during the war. And grandfather, you have always said that you buried his body under a pine tree, and you said that you will visit him once again, and this was your first promise to him. And this first promise has never been forgotten. And after 14 years, you visited the remains of the late Second Lieutenant Kim and laid these remains in peace. And because these remains were unknown and unidentified, you have set up a tablet that said surnamed Kim. And this is your second promise. You said that you will find the families of the remains. And after about 2 decades, you have found the surviving families of the person who was Second Lieutenant Kim, and you also told me the story about Second Lieutenant Kim Soo-young. And now the remaining promise that you had is being able to lay in peace side by side with Second Lieutenant Kim. I was very young, but I wanted you to be laid in peace alongside other generals. And you always told me the following: I, together with Ji-hee, am able to enjoy this delicious food, and I'm able to enjoy this beautiful time with you, all thanks to the sacrifices of the late Second Lieutenant Kim Soo-young. And without their sacrifice, we were not able to meet. Think about the family members and the children of the late Kim, and thinking about them, I feel very much indebted. And grandfather, you have always said that you want to share the stories with Kim. Grandfather, now that I am fully grown up, I can understand what you were implying. And I fully understand why you said that you were living a life that has been indebted. And I understand the implications and the valuable time that you are able to spend with your family members, and being able to hug one's granddaughter, and all of these moments that we have cherished together were only possible thanks to the sacrifice of the late Second Lieutenant Kim. And I fully understand how you felt back then. And you always appreciated your life, and you always had your dedication and resolution, and I am fully proud of your life. At the battleground, it was only about 10 minutes that you have met each other, but for the 7 decades afterwards, you have remembered these promises in your hearts. And now that you are laid at rest in June of 2022, we sincerely want to remember, and we want to thank you for the fact that we are able to realize your promise. I am really curious about what the stories that you will be sharing by now. grandfather.
이제는 제 차례인 것 같아요.
Now I think it's my turn.
김소희님께서
To Second Lieutenant Kim and to all of the fallen heroes and martyrs, and this very country and the noble sacrifices and the spirit need to be passed on to the younger generation. And I will continue this endeavor, and please watch me from wherever you are. I love you wholeheartedly. Until we meet in person, please rest in peace. Granddaughter Jung Ji-hee.
The granddaughter, who is prouder of her grandfather than anyone else, promised that her grandfather's promise he kept with his comrade until the end will be conveyed to the next generation. The story of the late General Hwang Kyu-man and the late Second Lieutenant Kim Soo-young makes us think that it is the duty of this country and its people not to forget their sacrifices made for the country and to respect it and take responsibility. I'd like to thank Ms. Jung Ji-hee and actress Chun Mi-do for this beautiful story of remembering and respecting the noble sacrifices. Next, the President will confer his Certificate of Merit to the people, the 5 persons of national merit, and they are as follows: Person of National Merit Moon In-ju, Person of National Merit Park Ok-pyong, Person of National Merit the late Im Sang-gyu, Person of National Merit the late Chung Do-han, Person of National Merit the late Hwang Hyun-jun. The awardees, please come up to the stage. Certificate of Person of National Merit, Moon In-ju. The Republic of Korea of today was built on the contributions and sacrifices of the persons of national merit that is an exemplar of patriotism. Therefore, this certificate is awarded to permanently commemorate this. June 6, 2022, President Yoon Suk-yeol. It is conferred to Moon In-ju himself. Certificate of Person of National Merit, Park Ok-pyong. The content is the same. June 6, 2022, President Yoon Suk-yeol. It is conferred to Park Ok-pyong himself. Certificate of Person of National Merit, the late Im Sang-gyu. The content is the same. June 6, 2022, President Yoon Suk-yeol. It is conferred to Mr. Im Jong-gil, the son of the late Im Sang-gyu. Certificate of Person of National Merit, the late Chung Do-han. The content is the same. June 6, 2022, President Yoon Suk-yeol. It is conferred to Mr. Chung Gi-hoon, the son of the late Chung Do-han. Certificate of Person of National Merit, the late Hwang Hyun-jun. The content is the same. June 6, 2022, President Yoon Suk-yeol. It is conferred to Mr. Hwang Sang-chul, the father of the late Hwang Hyun-jun. The persons of national merit and their bereaved family will salute to the Korean people. Salute. At ease, please return to your seats. Now the President will deliver his memorial speech commemorating 67th Memorial Day. The President will move to the stage.
Fellow Korean citizens, 2.4 million decorated patriots and veterans and their family members. Today marks the 67th Memorial Day. Here at the National Cemetery, the patriots and martyrs who fought for the independence of the Republic of Korea, as well as the fallen heroes who safeguarded the country from the invasion of communist forces, are laid to eternal rest.
국민의 생명을 지킨 분들이 함께 잠들어 계십니다.
I extend my deepest respect to all of the fallen heroes for their noble sacrifices and pay my sincere tribute. I also send my words of comfort to the members of the bereaved families who have endured the pain of losing their loved ones. The peace and freedom that we enjoy today were possible thanks to the bravery of the fallen patriots and martyrs who sacrificed themselves for their homeland. We cannot fully pay tribute to their outstanding bravery that came before their own lives. I sincerely believe that making a proud Republic of Korea where freedom, democracy, and human rights flourish would be the only path to let their noble sacrifices shine. The sacrifices of the heroes shall never be left to the tears of their surviving family members. Just like safeguarding the country and protecting the people were the mission of the fallen heroes, it is the nation's duty to look after their surviving family members. We will further embrace the surviving families and the persons of merit. A robust veteran system is the foundation for a strong national defense. By providing a fair and rational veteran system, we will make sure that no one is left behind. Fellow Korean citizens, even at this very moment, we witness heightened nuclear and missile threats from North Korea. Even yesterday, the regime has fired diverse forms of ballistic missiles. The North's nuclear and missiles not only threaten the Korean peninsula, but they also pose threats to Northeast Asia and world peace. My administration will respond to any forms of North's provocations in a firm and stern manner. By deterring the North's nuclear and missile threats, we will be developing more fundamental and actual security capability. We will make sure there is no loophole in safeguarding the lives and the properties of our people.
By our sides right now, there are those who sacrifice themselves at the forefront of national security and public safety. In January this year, the late Major Kim Jong-min of the 10th Fighter Wing of the Korean Air Force was killed while trying to prevent any damages to the private houses from a fighter jet crash and did not let go of the control stick until the end. Songtan Fire Station 119 Rescue Team, Fire Assistant Chief the late Lee Hyung-suk, Fire Lieutenant the late Park Soo-dong, and Fire Engineer the late Cho Woo-chan, who died on their life-saving missions at the Pyeongtaek Logistics Center fire site. Police Inspector of the late Jung Do-han, Police Sergeant the late Hwang Hyun-jun, Police Sergeant the late Cha Ju-il of the Southern Regional Coast Guard Air Corps, who died in a crash accident while returning from a search mission in the Taiwan waters. They were the heroes whose dreams were to protect the national security and people's safety. On behalf of the Korean people, I would like to extend my deepest condolences to all the bereaved families. The people of a country that has achieved freedom and prosperity have respected the noble sacrifices and devotion of the martyrs for their country. I'd like to make our country, together with our people, to be where heroes in uniform are respected. Thanks to their sacrifices, we can live safely and comfortably to pursue our dreams and happiness. Honorable Koreans, it is now our mission to nurture and pass down a freer and more peaceful Republic of Korea to our descendants. Freedom and democracy, value of human rights, are what the great Republic of Korea pursues. And the Republic of Korea will make sure their sacrifices for the country are valued. The bravery of the heroes will be remembered in the name of the Republic of Korea perpetually. The Korean government and the people will make sure that the bereaved families have their pride and dignity blossom in their hearts. Thank you. Thank you very much. We will remember the sacrifices of the fallen heroes, and thanks to their sacrifices, we can pursue the happiness and the people can live safely. We will never forget their sacrifice. Now we will watch the theme video, Sacrificing the Small Me for the Bigger Myself. It reminds us of the sacrificing spirit of the martyrs who dedicated their lives for the country and the spirit of patriotism. It brings us to the sense that we must move forward together with the spirit of the times by uniting the little selves for a greater Republic of Korea. The video narration was done by actress Kim Young-wook, who reunited with her eldest brother. The Rose of June asks me, who could it be? Who could it be that can be so brave and walk into the battlefield? And this person was not destined to perish like this. He is someone's son, a husband, and a friend. And that person was the person that we love. Do you know that in the name of Republic of Korea, there are so many people who dedicated their lives, and it is thanks to their sacrifices that we can live the today that we live in. And the country itself was a bigger fate for them rather than their families or friends. I chose to live like this rather than living a century. And to rescue the people is to rescue the country. The noble sacrifices of our fallen heroes are passed on to their descendants, and we are leading their spirit. Upholding the spirits of the patriotism of our martyrs, we will continue to protect and safeguard our waters. This, just like the flames, they were ready and prepared to burn in flames whenever they are needed, and they spared no effort to make others live, and they ran and burst into the flames so that they can rescue others. The patriotism the era of time asked for, they responded to this, and to safeguard the country, they devoted and sacrificed their one and only life. And thanks to this, we can see a beautiful morning, and we can dream beautiful dreams. beloved
당신의
ones,
묘비 앞에
in front of your
우리가
tablet,
눈물 속에 피어낸
we
장미의 한 송이
lay
바칩니다.
a rose that is blossomed with our tears.
자신보다 가족보다
The Republic of Korea we see today was possible thanks to the countless unsung heroes who put their country and the people before themselves, their families, and anyone else. It was possible thanks to the people who did not spare their lives in the fiercest battlefield and the fields. Following their footsteps that gave their all, we are now walking the very same path today. Now, here is a commemorative performance to show our determination that we will cherish the noble sacrifices and uphold the spirit of the Republic of Korea. The Ministry of National Defense Military Band, tenor baritone Song Gi-chan, tenor baritone An-hee-do, lyric soprano Lee Se-hee, lyric soprano Yoon Jung-nan, the Future Generation Choir, and the Ministry of Defense Military Band's vocalists will sing Thank You.
Thank you very much. Please give the performers a big round of applause. Now we will sing the Memorial Day song in unison. Please rise from your seats and sing the song together. They were the valuable people for the beloved families, and all of these sacrifices shall be remembered. And with this, we will now close the 67th Memorial Day ceremony. I would like to thank the distinguished guests and all of the viewers for your attention.
Well, that's where we are going to conclude our coverage of today's ceremony for Memorial Day here in South Korea. Thank you ever so much for being with us. Our regular newscast is coming up at noon Korea time. We'll have much more information about this ceremony, what was said by President Yoon, as well as the rest of the day's stories. So until then, goodbye.